Good morning, and this time I am live, so the Facebook blip that happened last week is sorted now, I'm pleased to report. So I hope you're enjoying beautiful weather. Here in Kerry, it is just stunning. It's like summer's suddenly come, just fab. So I had a beautiful weekend, enjoying the sunshine and swimming in the water that is still a little bit nippy, but not nearly as cold as it has been, thank goodness. So today I wanted to talk about what used to be for me a guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasures can take many forms, and they can either be just little pleasures, but the guilty pleasure was for me feeding a kind of cycle of me not feeling very good about myself and being stuck in that because I didn't really understand what was going on. So the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I went on a little bit of a shopping expedition last week, and actually I bought this shirt, so that's got great sleeve action. Don't know if you can see it. So anyway, I like it. I know it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I really like it. And it's from one of my favourite shops, which is a shop called Goose in Tralee. Beautiful vintage clothes, second-hand clothes, all really good value and good quality, and just a treasure trove, basically. Anyway, I digress. It gave me such pleasure to go through the rails and feel the fabrics and look at the colours and imagine how I would wear things, that it reminded me that there was a time when I would feel that pleasure, but it would be followed very quickly by another part of me that would pop up and go, clothes shopping. That's not very ethical. That's not very spiritual. That's a little bit shallow, isn't it? Not really very in line with what you do, as a health practitioner, as a holistic health practitioner, as somebody who stands up and cares for the planet. All of those little things. So often I would feel, actually very often, I would feel a need to go and clothes shop. And I didn't really understand why, but there was a need to do that. And I would get a little, the pleasure of while I was actually doing it. And then it would be quickly followed up by this part of me that popped out and said all those things to me. And I would feel guilty, ashamed, shouldn't have done that, shouldn't have spent that, all of those things. And sometimes I would actually it would result in me taking the item back to the shop, or I would just lose interest in that item because of its association with those negative feelings. So that's why I refer to it as a guilty pleasure. And, some people have different forms of that. It might not be with clothes, it could be with something else. Or it could be just that sense of one part of you wanting something and the other part of you wanting something different, and that they're constantly at loggerheads. And, sometimes we hear ourselves saying, well, part of me wants this and part of me wants that. And the result is often that, those two parts are seemingly kind of in conflict, and they might knock heads together for a while, and then often the result is that actually nothing really happens and nothing changes, and it just goes on and on and on. And that's definitely what was happening for me. So when it all changed was when I did a lovely QTT method called Parts Integration, and it kind of does what it says on the tin. So it helped me to recognise who those two parts are. So just, getting them out and having a really good look at them and understanding what was driving the behaviour of both parts, and what their values were and why they were in conflict. And actually, crucially, understanding that really, ultimately, they both actually wanted to achieve the same thing for me. And when we do that, and we can actually get them both out and look at them dispassionately and recognise that they both have valuable skills most of the time, that if they work together as one, they can actually be really powerful in supporting me or you as a whole. And that's what the parts integration is all about. So now what's changed for me is, number one, I don't need to go clothes shopping anymore. That need has gone. But from time to time, I choose to, because it still gives me pleasure. As I say, I like the whole thing of dressing up, I suppose, of recognising the value in the actual act of choosing a new outfit, if you like, or a new item of clothing, but also thinking about how I'm going to incorporate that into my life. Every day, being able to look at clothes and choose the way of dressing that actually suits or enhances my mood, whatever I want to be projecting that day, is a creative process. And it's also a very useful process because it enhances whatever we want to enhance. So that now is about little moments of joy. And I've also changed the way that I shop, in that I'm much more conscious of where I shop. So I choose to shop in vintage clothes shops, charity shops, shops that I am, as far as I can be, sure that they are running their businesses ethically. I would always choose local over global, wherever possible. So that thing that used to come up that says, oh, that's not very, you're not really shopping in an ethical, supportive way, isn't there anymore. So I know that when I clothes shop, largely I'm supporting a local business. And I'm also recycling clothes that might otherwise end up on a dump. So that's one aspect. I spend a lot less money than I used to, so there's no guilt or shame around that either. But I suppose the biggest thing is that those two parts are no longer fighting with each other. They are actually working together. So my whole can actually have a much more integrated and conscious approach to when I choose to go clothes shopping. So what I wanted to encourage today was for you to maybe become a little bit conscious of where you might have a part of you that wants something and another part of you that wants something that seems to be in conflict with that, and just have a look about what that's about if you can. Of course, if you do have a running pattern around that, then come and have a QTT session, because it will be successful in integrating those two parts within you and recognizing their skills so that they're no longer in conflict. And also, I'm interested anyway, that whole shopping and clothes thing, is that unique to me? I don't think it is unique to me, because I know my sisters have a similar pleasure from clothes shopping, and we definitely got that from our mother. So yeah, just drop me a little comment in the comments with this video, or just give me a thumbs up if you think, yep, that's something I recognise. And of course, you can have a look at my site if you want to know more about QTT or homeopathy or any of the things that I do, or you can book a free clarity call there with me. So that's it for this week. Enjoy the sunshine, and I'm wishing you a very integrated and heart-centered week. Thanks for watching.